Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady. And today we have two great stories. And the first story, I really don't work at this haunted attraction, and I won't be coming back. This happened last Halloween season, and it's traditional that I go do a haunted hayride, haunted house, and a haunted maze each year, and normally I'll try to do one place that has all three. I always go with a friend or a group of friends. I have one I know well and went each year. Well, last year I was going to go with two friends. One bailed, leaving me with an extra ticket. So upon getting there, we asked one of the workers what would be a good way to see if we could cancel or get a refund on the ticket. While we were having a chat, another worker comes up and says, without noticing our conversation, "Get the keys, you're driving the tractor on the first run." My friend and I assumed she was talking to the worker we were talking to, so we tried to bid goodbye. We turned to go to the check-in window to see if they could help us as it was now open. At least we could check in and get our fun started. But nope, I felt something grab my wrist. "Where do you think you're going?" Me. "To check in." "Let go, I don't—" "Didn't you just hear me?" Friend. "You were talking to him, not us. Now let her go. She doesn't do well with people touching her. Or do you want to get bit?" The worker then let go of my wrist. "I was talking to you. You think you can get paid if you just chat with others?" she said. My friend and I were confused. The uniform at this place for non-costumed people was a bright orange with a jack-o'-lantern with their attraction's name on its shirt and a lanyard that pretty much said they were staff there too. I was wearing a big black winter coat, unzipped, showing a skull shirt with a one-eyed raccoon hat and paw gloves. My friend was wearing her skull pants and skull hoodie. The worker we were talking to before was looking at us and to her with the same confusion we had, and we all stated— I laugh at this because groups saying the same thing makes me laugh. "I, she, they don't work here." The female worker looked embarrassed and said, "Well, don't dress like you do. Enjoy the attraction," before she rushed off. My friend and I thought that was the end of that and had no idea that it was just starting. We checked in and got into an argument with the owner over the ticket. Well, more so since he snapped at us for even asking about it. We wandered off grumbling about how rude the owner was to raise his voice at someone who wasn't yelling and got in line for the hayride. We were non-VIP while others were VIP. The lines were not very defined, but I knew where they were since I'd been up there so many times before. When some other people came up, they were VIPs and got in the wrong spot. The spot they were in would have gotten them run over since the tractor comes through there. I rushed over. "Guys, where are you headed?" I asked, trying to get them out of the path while being as polite as possible. "Oh, we're trying to find the hayride line," said one woman. Me. "I see you got the glow stick. You must be VIPs." "Yeah, this is the tractor path. Not a good place to be. It's over here," I said, and showed them the way. I then jumped over the divider to join my friend, who was groaning about how I didn't need to do that. "So, what time does it start?" asked the woman from before, since we were nearby. Me. "It's supposed to start at 7, yet it never does. Not sure why." Man, who was with the woman, "Why don't you know? You work here." My friend starts to laugh as I glare at her. "No, I don't work here. I just come here a lot," I said, smiling at them. "Oh my God, I thought you worked here. I'm so sorry we disturbed you," said the woman from before, looking genuinely shocked. I shrugged it off and we all started talking and laughing. That was until we heard, "Why aren't you in uniform? Where's your light?" called a voice as a woman in a uniform stormed up to us. No one answered her. She got up to me and pointed a finger in my face. "You're responsible for this area, aren't you? Well, answer me." I was stunned at how forward this woman was. "She doesn't work here. Trust me, I made that mistake earlier," said the woman from the VIP group. The worker paused and looked at me. "Are you sure? She was helping you." Me. "I really don't work here. I'm here to have fun. Can you back up? You're freaking me out." The worker looked unhappy but apologized and wandered off. The night drew on, and I got to say I kept getting people confusing me for a worker, mainly by people who worked there. Any customers thought I worked there because I knew the way around better than any of the workers, or because I was able to make things scarier as my friend and I made dark jokes and tried to spook each other out. In total, over 20 times at least telling people I don't work here. I was so tired from those explanations. We just finished the last attraction, which was a maze. Not really impressed. It was kind of lame this time. When the owner came up to us, he grabbed my hand and plopped some keys in my hand. "You're driving the last tractor of the night." My friend was grinning as the owner was about to leave. "Excuse me, I think you're confused. I don't work here. In fact, we had an argument earlier. Don't you remember who I am?" The owner turned red. "You work here," he snapped. "I don't. Here are your keys," I said, tossing him the keys and starting to walk off. "If you leave now, you're fired," he yelled at me. "All right," I said, walking off. We ran into the worker from earlier and told him about it. He said they hired a bunch of new faces and no one knew who anyone was. He said, "Sorry, but I really am not going back." The owner couldn't even tell who he had a fight with and who worked for him. Not my store, not my problem. For the record, I do work for Walmart and did at the time of the story. My oldest niece goes to college just a couple hours drive from my home. Every so often, I'd make the drive out on my day off to visit with her and make sure she had everything she needed. Her mom covered the rent on her apartment, and she walked most everywhere, and most stores she needed were within walking distance, except the local Walmart. So during a visit, she thought of a few things she needed from the store. No big deal. We head over there. We wander around and gather the supplies she needed. A few school supplies, a movie that had just released, some fabric for her latest cosplay idea, and we were looking over the game case, commenting on some recent releases, and mulling a purchase. Enter customer. Customer. "Excuse me, I need a game out of here. Would you unlock it for me?" Me. "Sorry, I don't work here, but I see the guy with the keys right over there. It's my day off. I'm not in anything that could remotely be construed as dress code for Walmart, much less a name tag." Customer. "No, I recognize you. I know you work here. Please stop being another lazy freak and get me that game." Me. "Ma'am, I'm sorry, I don't work here. I can't open any case." Customer. "Shut up! Look, I get it. You're lazy. You're flirting with this little twit here. You think you're going to get in her pants. You work here. It's your job to provide customer service." "Ma'am, this is my niece. She attends college here. I don't even live in this town. Please leave." "What's your manager's name? I'm going to file a complaint." At this point, I realize I can have a little fun with this, especially as my manager at the time has a love of snarky behavior and a no-nonsense attitude when it comes to customers like this. I give her my manager's name and cell number, knowing he was also off that day. He listens to the complaint, then asks which store she's in, because that doesn't sound like the kind of person he wants working under him. She's confused, but gives the college town name. I hear him laugh over the phone, loudly. He then tells her in no uncertain terms that I don't work at that store and to leave me alone. He then hangs up before she can get a word in edgewise. Customer. "Oh, very funny. Getting me some friend of yours to cover for you. Now get me that game." At this point, the actual associate comes up and asks which game. She angrily points at it. He unlocks the case and gets a copy out. Customer. "At least someone around here can do their damn job. You need to tell your coworker here to stop thinking with his D." Local associate. "Ma'am, he's another customer. He doesn't work here. And please don't use that sort of language in the store." Customer. "Another cover story. F." Local associate. "Ma'am, please refrain from swearing in the store. There are children nearby." Customer. "F you and your whole effing store and your effing horny AFs who won't do their effing jobs. F your effing S, I'm going to GameStop." This attracts the attention of the store manager, who comes over to see what the commotion is. Store manager. After listening to a profanity-laden rant about the poor customer service. "Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. You're harassing other customers," pointing at me and my niece, "belittling my staff," pointing at the actual electronics guy, "and your language is not appreciated in Walmart. The exit's this way. If you don't want to leave of your own accord, I can have the police escort you out." No, I'm not a statue. This happened back when I was 20. I was 6'2" with long jet black hair and was dressed in whatever band t-shirt I was listening to at the time. Probably Nirvana. It was the 90s. There's this barbecue restaurant nearby that really plays up the Western theme. Stuffed armadillos, rattlesnakes, spurs on the wall, very kitschy. In addition to making some killer barbecue and the best pecan pie, they'll also smoke meat for you if you bring it in. It's been a family tradition to take them a turkey and have them smoke it for us on Thanksgiving. So much better than oven roasted. I dropped off the turkey a couple of days ago, and the day before Thanksgiving, I went to pick it up. When I arrived, they asked me if I wanted it sliced. Sure, saves me a step. They mentioned it should take a few minutes. Now, this is the days before cell phones, ancient I know, so I just step to the side, cross my arms, and stare at the menu overhead, just kind of zoning out. A lady in her mid-30s walks up to me and just stares at me. Hard. Just as I'm about to say something, she pokes me right in the chest. Her eyes got really big as she slaps me and she shrieks. That's the only way to describe the sound she made. She shrieked and slapped me. The entire restaurant turns to try and find the source of the sound, and she's still shrieking. Me. What the absolute hell? Her. You, and I need to talk to your manager. Me. Ma'am, I don't work here. And why the hell did you just slap me? Her. You can't just go around scaring people. Whose idea was it to have you try and scare customers? The manager does come out because, obviously, he heard her yelling. The lady finally calms down. Apparently, initially, she thought I was one of those cigar store Indian statues, Native American, and was part of the decor. After realizing I was not, in fact, a statue, she thought I worked there and had dressed up as a Native American. I had a good tan going and the aforementioned long jet black hair to scare people. Now for a twist, she did calm down and after talking with the manager realized I was just a customer waiting for some food. She apologized profusely and insisted on buying me a pecan pie. All's well that ends in pecan pie. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video to the end, and I'll see you soon.